Audio Jungle.
Kitsaton females allege abuse by police. Residents of Kitsaton in St. Catherine are alleging that men, purporting to be plainclothes police officers, attacked and injured a teenage girl and assaulted her mother and sister during an operation to remove illegal light wires on Tuesday. Reports from residents who spoke to reporters were that the men came into the community along with Jamaica Public Service JPS workers after several previous visits and attempted to enter a property. They kept going into the people's yard without permission. They went in the lady's yard. She was telling them to come out, and they hit the lady's daughter in her face, bust up her face and her mouth, a resident explained, indicating that the teen had to go to the hospital after. Video footage of the incident shows two men attempting to load a woman into an unmarked van, while another in a gray shirt stands nearby. One of the men, seen wearing a Jamaica Constabulary Force hat, appears to be armed with a gun. Also seen is a teen wearing a red t-shirt with streaks of blood running down her nose. The youngster was identified by the resident who spoke with reporters as the teenage daughter of the mother being manhandled into the van. They tried to go in her mother's yard, the resident said, again indicating that expletives were shouted by the men and the girl responded in kind. That when he hit the little girl in her face and mashed up her nose and mouth and the mother got involved, the resident noted. In the video, the plainclothes men can be heard saying, "Go in the vehicle, go in the van," as they take turns shoving the mother in an attempt to get her into a vehicle, at times holding and dragging her and her hand in the band of her shorts. One of the plainclothes men wearing a blue shirt attempted to get the resident to stop videotaping them while insisting that the committee members are obstructing his work. When residents, including another of the woman's daughter, get close to the van, the armed man in the JCF hat draws his gun and instructs the committee members to move back. Before that can happen, the grey-clad plainclothes man grabs the second daughter by her t-shirt and they struggle off camera as more irritated residents rush into the fray. The man grabs and shakes the woman by the blouse, exposing her breast, before pulling what appears to be a handgun and pointed it at her and then into the air. An explosion is then heard. "This is really crazy. They are crazy. Something needs to be done about this situation," the resident told reporters of the incident. The mother of the child indicated that she and her daughters have been charged with various offenses including indecent language and assault. She alleges that her left jaw, breast and hand were bruised during the scuffle, while the younger daughter's nose is very broken as they await X-ray results. When contacted by reporters, police indicated that they were not aware of the video. Meanwhile, Winsome Cullum, Director of Corporate Communications of Jamaica Public Service, was working to confirm whether a team had been dispatched to Kitson that day. However, she indicated that it was regular practice to pair policemen with JPS teams. "We work every day in communities all across the island to remove illegal connections. That is something that is ongoing and routine because of the persistence of electricity theft. And yes, we get the support of the police when we go into communities because our team members have been threatened and sometimes exposed," she noted. The mother said the plainclothesmen did not identify themselves as lawmen. "They didn't identify themselves, they just drive in and start cut wires and pick up," she noted. Stealing electricity from JPS grid is a crime punishable by law and affects paying customers. When queried about why residents of the community were stealing electricity from the grid, the woman claimed they had not been outfitted with meters. The JPS wire run from the main right through phase 1 and 2, but they say they know nothing about it. They said it's illegal, the woman said, adding, "People get their light wire, put it up on the post, and put in their meter box, but they still cannot connect to their house. At the end of the day, we still are not getting any meters, so everybody is throwing up their little wires." The woman alleged that the servicemen who removed the wires were not just taking them down, but coming around after and making a business out of it, reselling the wires to the same community members for up to $20,000. She also pointed finger at the Housing Association of Jamaica, which she said is responsible for handling the sale of the land in the area. While acknowledging that residents who paid up were provided with their titles, the female residents alleged that they had been sold land with no provisions for electricity and water and no proper provision for waste disposal in some areas. She complained bitterly about the poor state of the road, which she said deterred taxi drivers from traveling in the area. This, the resident claimed, was paired with what she described as regular harassment from JPS and the police. The JPS has the legal authority to remove any wires illegally attached to its infrastructure. Some persons who were taken off path but still in need to be reinstated soon. Some persons who have been taken off the program of advanced through health and education pathways but are still in need of support will soon be reinstated. During recent stakeholders' consultation sessions, there were mounting complaints that past process of selecting and approving beneficiaries were very rigid. Labor and Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. said the process is undergoing a review, but while that is in train, the ministry has already taken steps to provide aid to families in need. While making his contribution to the sectoral debate of the lower house, Mr. Charles Jr. noted that those who benefit were interrupted will resume getting aid within the next 3 cycles. He added that the ministry has also altered the system to transition path application for provisional and registered status.
We are taking decisive action to correct the issues with our beneficiary management information system, which is the BMIS that we speak of, through which path is administered. As a result of our ongoing work, Mr. Speaker, families whose benefits were interrupted will resume receiving their benefits within the next 3 payment cycles, and that is hundreds, maybe thousands of families. We are currently also advancing this process and determining the most feasible route to remove the existing digital barrier. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, technology for us, it must enable, not impede, service delivery. The ministry has implemented an accelerated strategy to transition path applications from provisionally approved status within the last 12 months to a registered status. What that means is that thousands of households that have been waiting will now be transitioned with urgency. This means that over 3,000 additional families will start receiving support in this financial year. And as I know it will be asked, let me say it. Of that number, already more than 600 families have been identified and transitioned, and we are in the process, and they should start receiving path benefits by June of this year.
Police urged to take action against drivers of trucks that spill concrete on roads. Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Nesta Margon, has called for the police to increase enforcement action against truck drivers whose vehicles spill cement, concrete mixture, and other construction materials on the roadways. Section 97 of the Road Traffic Act 2018 makes it a criminal offense to use materials such as concrete mix, garbage, or oil to spill onto the roadways, Margon noted in a statement on Wednesday. Offenders who are found guilty can be fined up to $300,000 or 3 months imprisonment, he noted. Section 97(2) also empowers the authorities to recover the cost of road repair as a civil debt in the parish court. Further, the minister cited that Section 253 of the regulations to the Road Traffic Act, which prohibits the operation of vehicles carrying goods that are not safely contained or securely fastened. Our roads are not dumping ground. The reckless spilling of cement and other debris not only violates the law, but significantly damages our road surfaces and endangers the lives of motorists, Margon noted. I am calling on the police to increase enforcement across the island. Truck drivers and those respective companies must know that if you damage the roads, you will be held accountable. The spillage of concrete mixed on road surface has been a sore point for motorists for years. Mountain View Avenue at the intersection of Ottowind Drive is one of several examples often cited where the build-up of concrete mix has left huge craters in heavily traversed roadways. It was recently resurfaced, but already concrete mix has again been spilled onto the roadway. Morgan noted that the government has spent billions of dollars through the shared prosperity through accelerated improvement to our road network, Spark, and relief emergency assistance and community help reach programs to upgrade the country's road infrastructure. We cannot allow this kind of carelessness to undermine the progress. People are angry and frustrated at the destruction of our roads, he noted. The minister also urged construction companies, haulers, and drivers to adopt stricter safety and containment measures when transporting materials. to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.